Hey everybody, welcome back to Bowling Lefty's YouTube channel. It's been a couple weeks since I put up a video, so a lot of stuff been going on. Started a new league. Um, yeah, so it's going pretty good so far. I think we're 3 or 4 weeks into the league. Been bowling okay. Been on some kind of the worst pairs in our bowling alley, but still averaging about 215 right now. So these first few weeks, so had an okay start. A couple bad weeks, couple bad games that really cost me. But the nice thing about it is that being that it is just a house condition, the the first uh, couple weeks, bowled on lanes 1 and 2, which are normally the worst lanes in our house. A lot of hook on lane 1, and then the oil seems like starts on lane 2. So it's just one of those things. It was nice. I got to bowl pretty much 2 different patterns when it's like that, and which is it's challenging. So it's good. Little bit of carry issues, but generally on the lanes that I've been bowling on so far the first couple weeks, that's pretty much the way it is every time I bowl on them. I'm assuming it's the topography of the lanes, something going on. The carry's not quite as good on some of those as there are on the other lanes. So hopefully I'm done on these lanes for the first get them out of the way and start putting up some big scores again. So anyways, it's tournament time, folks, and I just wanted to show you guys some of my setup, what I'm going to take to my first big tournament of the year. Starts on Tuesday afternoon. It's going to be on the Easy Street bowling pattern, which is it's an easier pattern, typical. It's a Kegel pattern, very similar to a house shot. I would call it a house shot. It's pretty much 13-1 on the outside, and then in the middle, you're about 3-1. So for me, it does kind of line up with my A game. I do typical lefty. I enjoy playing 5 to 8, and so the 5 board first arrow pretty much to the 8 board from the left. So looking forward to it. It's obviously a lot easier bowling pattern than what I saw on the True Amateur tournament that I bowled at the Canyon Lanes and at the Morongo Casino. So anyways, I've got a pretty good idea what I'm going to take. It is a local tournament. It's the United States Police and Fire Championships. This year, I believe we have about 70 to 80 bowlers that are signed up. So it's okay tournament, which is normally a little bit lower than normal. And it's only because we have the World Games coming up in July, the first week in July. So it's sold out. So this is the first of my three big tournaments for myself. Obviously, it's my second tournament of the year. I'm feeling great. Dr. Klein Chiropractic has got me in some good shape with my back and my sciatica that I was experiencing the last tournament I did. So I'm really looking forward. The format for this tournament coming up is 5 games. You bowl 3 games on 2 lanes, and then you switch. You switch lanes and bowl your last 2 games. So with about 80 competitors, we're bowling at Mira Mesa Lanes, which is owned by a friend of mine, Missy Parkin and Drew Parkin. So not sure if you heard their news. They're opening up a brand new bowling alley and entertainment center here in Southern California at San Clemente. So that's kind of cool. A lot of other cool stuff going on. A lot of big changes on the PBA tour for those of you who enjoy watching bowling. It's going to be on the CW network if you're in Southern California, it's Channel 5. It's one of the main broadcast channels here in Southern California. So looking forward to that. And then big news today was that the PBA Tour is going to have 31 hours on the CBS network. So you're going to be able to watch that. I even believe they are going to have some tournaments on big CBS. And then they're going to have them mainly, probably most likely, on the CBS Sports Network. And if you can't get that, it will be streaming on Paramount Plus. So be looking forward to that. Be looking forward to some of those tournaments that are coming out. Other thing I want to talk about is I'll give you a couple of my ideas that I'm hoping to do before I go to Alabama. I'm hoping at, and I'll explain some of it. As many of you know, I've have the stealth mode, the snapshot, and the mesmerize, and Black Widow Mania. So those are kind of my main balls that I have. And one thing I want to recommend you guys that I found that was kind of cool is that bowlingball.com. If you guys go there, They use obviously they don't test the balls and rate the balls as far as the hook goes. They have their own unique hooking or ball hook, um, I guess, measurement system that is unique to, it's pretty much standard across all the different lines of bowling balls. So if I want a motive, I can go there. I can see what the hook rating that they've given it is going to be. Because as you know, each bowling ball company has a different hook rating system. So what I found is that there's right now I do have the way my lineup works is I have the Mesmerize as my most hooking ball. Then I have the Track Theorem and Black Widow Mania. Track Theorem, I would say, has a lot more back end than the Black Widow Mania, but the Black Widow Mania has probably more overall hook than the Track Theorem. And then you've got the one of the spots, I have the Snapshot, which is kind of been an in-between ball. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, kind of something unique. I'm going to try seeing if it works. I haven't had much success with it. I've really been trying it when I've been practicing to find a cover finish on it that I really like, and haven't really found a finish on it that I like because it has a lot of hook. The way I have it set up, it has a real big back end, and for a symmetrical, the way I was hoping to have it drilled is, it has a lot of hook, and sometimes it does give me a little bit more inconsistencies than I like. So I did something totally drastic with that ball just to see if I'd be able to use it, and if it comes down to a point where I need something like the way I have it set up for this tournament, I'll be able to use it. So, and then beneath that, I do have the gap where I have right now. I do have a ball that still works great. It's the Knockout Bruiser, which it has a little bit higher hook rating than my Stealth Mode. But my Stealth Mode has pretty much been my out of the bag symmetrical ball that I've been using after I go down from the Black Widow Mania. The other ball below that, which I don't think I'm going to be taking with me, is the Radical Rattler, which is kind of my lowest, least amount of hook bowling ball that I have. But instead of taking that one to this tournament, I want to give myself a different look with another asymmetrical, which I'll talk about that in a little bit. So, being that I do have some gaps, I'm hoping between now and the World Games, I'm hoping to replace the Knockout. I did find, thanks to bowlingballs.com's hook system, that the hammerhead is going to is very similar as far as numbers go, as far as hook rating goes, as far as what the actual ball does. Very comparable to that. So I'm hoping to replace the Knockout with that hammerhead. And then the Radical Rattler, I'm hoping to replace with the Turbo X. So those are, the Ebonite Turbo X. Those are the two that I'm kind of looking at. Let's talk about some new bowling balls real quick that just came out. One of them that really is catching my eye is the Paragon Shadow. It's a good looking ball. And then it's very, looks like it's going to be a really good ball. The only reason why I need more of a symmetrical ball that I'm looking for, but definitely that Paragon Black Shadow did catch my eye. Obviously it's not out yet, so that's the one catch with the bowlingball.com rating, is that generally they won't release their hook rating until the ball has been officially released. So I'm not quite sure how that would fit in my lineup as of right now. I think it would probably be comparable to the in the same line as with about the same performance as probably my Black Widow Mania, or maybe a step up in between that and the Mesmerize. So I'm going to do a little bit more research on that, and we'll see what goes from there. So let's talk about some of these balls real quick, and I'll get into what I've learned in the 4 or 5 months that I've had these balls and why they took a spot in the lineup that they are. All right, my big ball is going to be my Brunswick Mesmerize. That ball, what I'm hoping to do in practice is really just throw each of the balls, see what they're going to do. I am bringing 8, however, 2 are going to stay in the car. And those 2 will be my emergency bowling balls, just in case nothing is working and I need to grab something. I have 5. It's a 5-game tournament. So if I do need to run to the car, I'm able to run to the car. Tournament's in San Diego, so it's not that big of a deal. I am driving, so that's why I'm taking the extra 2 balls, but I generally will only bring in 6 with me. So let's get into those top 6 that I have that I'm going to pull out of the bag first in the order that I'm going to try and use them and see where they work. So first is going to be the Brunswick Mesmerize. I'm going to pull that out first, see how it looks. That's my overall big hooking ball. And what I'm going to be looking for on those first couple shots is to see if I get the carry down. See if it finishes. Sorry. See if it finishes good. If I'm getting out those corners, then I'm probably going to try and stick with that until it starts breaking down. Then I'm going to transition to either my knockout, my Brunswick Melee knockout, or the track stealth mode. That'll be my down version from there. If the knockout doesn't work, I'm probably going to ball back up to the Black Widow Mania. Now, the one thing about the Brunswick Mesmerize is that because it does try and start hooking right away. And if there is a lot of oil, it normally gets delayed in getting that traction. So I end up having some carry issues, or it affects the amount of hook that I get on the ball. So if that's the case, then the ball I'm going to go to as my main ball for this tournament is going to be the Track Theorem. The Track Theorem has such a strong back end that it's able to roll through the majority of the oil that's going to be out on this pattern. And it'll be able to give me that nice back end that it's known for. From there, if the Track Theorem is too much, what I'm going to go to is I'm going to go to the Black Widow Mania. Like I said, the Black Widow Mania, I finally found a cover that I really like. I have it about 2,000 grit. The Mesmerize I have at 1,000, which is about as, for this first day, is probably as low as I'm going to go, hopefully. And then the Theorem, I really enjoy that cover at about 1,500 grit. So if the Theorem is too much, then I'm going to switch over to the Black Widow Mania, throw that, and see how that goes. And then, so the plan is after that to go to the Brunswick Knockout once it starts, all that stuff starts burning up too soon. Then I'll go to the Brunswick Knockout, the Bruiser, and see how that works. And if that one's not working too good, then I can go to the stealth mode, which will give me that. The stealth mode has such a great back end to it, and it really rolls nice all the way through, and then it really gives you a pop right at the back end. Now, the problem, and then obviously my 6 ball in these 2 bags is going to be my spare ball. So technically I only have 5 balls that I'm going to take in the bowling alley with me, which generally every time I go, I always find 1 ball that works really good, or 2, asym and then a symmetrical that really works well. And so I can generally stay within those 2 balls. Normally what happens is that obviously I'm a left-hander, so there aren't as many left-handers. So those first 3 games, I'll get probably a game or 2 with my asym, and then I'll be able to switch to the symmetrical that 3rd game. Then games 4 and 5, obviously I'm switching lanes again. So I'll go back depending on how many, I'll pay attention to which lanes I'm going to and how many lefties are bowling on that pair. Depending on how many lefties are bowling, what equipment they're using, I'll go ahead and either go back to one of my asymmetricals, or I'll just start with the symmetrical right off the bat and see how that works. So that's kind of the plan for those first 5 games. Also, I'm not quite sure. They never tell you how many people are going to be on the lanes. The bowling alley is closed in general, so we'll be the only ones on the lanes. So I'm hoping that we'll have a max for singles of 2 to 3 people. And then doubles, generally same thing, 2 to 3 people a lane. And then team event, we always have 4 on a lane. So the 4th day is the 3rd day is the longest day, because it's a pretty much singles on Tuesday, doubles on Wednesday, and Thursday is going to be a team event. So what they do is they take the total of all 3 days, and if I'm ranked in the top 5, then we'll go into a stepladder roll off to see where I line up and see if I can win the overall events. So generally I do pretty well at this tournament. Last year I was traveling, missed the first 2 days because of a missed flight. I was coming back from the Bahamas. We got delayed. By the time we made it to Orlando, it was too late in the day to get a flight back out here, and that cost me pretty much 2 days of bowling. So I've got probably the best team that I've got lined up ready to bowl this year, and so we should have a good going at it for the team event. And then doubles is a guy that we've done really well against each other, and we've done really well with each other and as doubles in this tournament. Some of the other tournaments we haven't really done too well. So this is one we always still bowl with together because we do seem to line up pretty well. That's about it. Oh, let me talk about the other two that I'm going to bring. So they're the two most unique in my bag, and one is that Snapshot. And what I did with the Snapshot was, just in case that there is no hook, I'm not getting any hook at all, what I'll be able to do is I took the Snapshot down to 500 grit, so which I can get that to hook on pretty much anything. It'll just be if it burns up too soon. So I did take that one. That's kind of the most drastic cover that I have on the ball, and it'll be kind of a last resort. If I'm just not able to score, I'll try and pull that out. The other ball that I am bringing is, and it's the only one that I have that I use pretty consistently that's drilled this way, is the Brunswick Mindset. And I have that one drilled at a pin down. Therefore, it gives me a nice straight, even arc. I've done really well with that ball at this bowling alley. Because it does give me, it has a lot of hold and very controllable. So I am able to play a more straighter line, which for me, straighter is greater. And so if all the balls that I have brought are just hooking way too much, I will probably run out to the car, grab that Brunswick Mindset and throw that, or start with it on Tuesday and see how it goes from there. The one thing I will say about this bowling alley is there are some big differences between lanes. Big differences in carry depending on where you're at. It's older bowling alley. The lanes, unless were changed this year, they're old lanes. So they're not, I'm assuming they probably haven't been leveled out too much. And so so the topography, I'm assuming, is probably pretty bad on some of these lanes. So we'll see how it goes, but that's kind of my plan for this this tournament. So please keep watching. I'm gonna do probably a nightly video once the tournament's going, give you guys an update on how that tournament is going for me. And yeah, so looking forward to it. Tournament season is starting, so getting excited. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video. I have had a couple comments and people reach out to me and ask me some questions about what I've thought on some of the equipment. I was asked person asked me the difference between the what they should pretty much go to if they're trying to replace the Mindset. Asked me what I thought about the Mesmerize, between the Mesmerize compared to the Mindset. And really what I discussed in that when I responded to this gentleman was that it was really the Mindset is pretty much stepped down from the Mesmerize, obviously, with the Mesmerize being such newer technology. And so I recommended to him, probably if he wanted something that was going to be comparable, probably go to the Hypnotize over the Mesmerize, because Mesmerize does have a significant amount more hook than the Mindset does. So anyways, hey, feel free, reach out, ask me certain questions. Like I said, I might not have the ball, but I'm always watching videos. I'm always watching videos from people who have a neutral mindset, so I can get a true kind of opinion and kind of a true view on what the ball is going to do. So anyways, please reach out to me, like the videos, check me out on Instagram. Hopefully I'll have some shorts too if I'm bowling well. Might hopefully have a 300 video to pop up. We'll see. You never know. This is a tournament that I have bowled a couple in. So so hopefully I'm looking forward to some big scores, much better turnout than I had at the True Amateur tournament. So stay tuned. I'll be back hopefully next Tuesday with a short video just letting you know how the first day went, and then we'll go from there. All right. Have a good day. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.